June Horner. Truly we are, but we didn't see it. We're having him play on. 9:24, second quarter. Mustangs 4 and Kalamazoo 3. Collins chasing the ball down into the left corner for Horner. Squares it up and blasted too far. Horner missed everything. This ball is far too long, it looks like, for anybody, as the goalkeeper, once more, Leslie Ordonez, ventures just beyond her keeper area. Hurtado and Maritza Miranda with touches here for the Kalamazoo side. Long ball with the capital L lands right in the lap there of Ordonez. Your reserve keeper listed for the Mustangs, Juana Mercado. Mercado has a 49, a rather cool and rather familiar number that you'll see in the goalkeeper kit. You also see the Mustangs men's team with their reserve keeper Denise Aragon, rocking the 49. And their starting keeper, Jose Resendiz, top 5 all-time in saves on the Major League Indoor Soccer sides. He rocks 48. We are now under 8 minutes of the quarter. At our next stoppage, we should have our media timeout enforced. Cross just too far in front. Looking for Jennifer Lopez. Whistle, physical play, should draw the foul. Fernanda Soto, whistled for Chicago. See, this is 7 minutes 51 seconds. Ideally, we would get the media timeout here as soon as we're under 8. Not going to have it this time. We hope to get it as soon as possible. Once more, we come to you live from Grand Sports Arena here in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. Chicago Mustangs and Kalamazoo Zoo City FC. There's a 4 or 5 car pileup. Let's see who finally comes out of the pack. It's Medica Navarro for the Mustangs. And they've got a streaker. Eventually covered up. Good, as the legality of that play would then become in question. Hannah Larson was the open, with a capital O, Mustangs runner. Free kick, Shannon Walter, top of the arc. Walter has buried a couple of these already this season. Mustangs running one on quite late, off of the bench area. Walter played over for her right. Van Volkenberg there to take it away for Kalamazoo defensively. And then the attacking team foul. Looks like it goes on Kelly Flores. We're talking about the foul count along the bench area. When you do get that 6th team foul in one half, that will award the team that is fouled a shootout. We're hearing that is the 5th foul assessed on the Mustangs here for the half. Kennedy slipped. She'll recover. Miranda trying to put a little bit of pressure on the keeper. Brenna Musser, the interception. More and more press on the Kalamazoo side as they begin to get more and more comfortable. Still, big shot discrepancy, 22-5, Mustangs. Kalamazoo with just a single shot up on goal credited for this period. The one scorer of the quarter, Kelly Flores, 13:34 from Stephanie Nunez. Goalkeeper numbers look like this. Soleil Ty Baker, already 8 saves on her side. On 12 shots on goal against. Flores, little chip up for Stephanie Freund. And on the Chicago side, Leslie Ordonez, just 2 saves for her on the 3 goals allowed. 5 shots against. Flores, skyscraper. And that will be up and over everything, a cause for a restart. Now finally, we should have our media timeout assessed, we would believe. We're well under that 8-minute mark. See if everybody's been on the same page as us. Now finally, Finally, we do get that indication, and that is a relief, folks. And let us pay some bills. We will take it to the media break as it's 6 minutes and 13 seconds to play. Second quarter, Mustangs 4-3.
It's game day. Today, tomorrow, every day. And game face is our only face. We're not normal. Normal doesn't run everywhere or take a stopwatch to everything. Normal doesn't dedicate itself to never letting its customers down. Not a single one. Never, ever, ever. Normal doesn't live to beat the rush. Obsessed about out-the-door times? That's not normal. Counting pepperoni in your sleep? Not normal. Normal is average. Normal is ordinary. Normal is what people expect. Normal doesn't have pizza sauce flowing through its veins. The other guy is normal. That's why no one delivers like we do.
Suffering the foul there, Kelly Flores. Flores pops up. When we do restart this thing, we'll have 5 minutes and 16 seconds to play here for the second quarter. Sent down into the corner by Ana Vasquez. Vasquez, another returner from the championship team for Chicago last season. They would play an epic final with Fort Wayne's Summit City United at the time, now known as the Summit City Sentinels. Kelly Collins chipped down. Collins was trying to get the rebound and flying in there, knocking this ball away. Is that Navarro? What we do know is we have a defensive clearance call here. Ball goes to the top of the arc. Song June Hornewer thought she was going to take it at first. Now it looks like it's going to be Walter. Walter typically takes a lot of these set pieces and has scored on a few. Everybody moving around. Nunez over for Walter! Bang! Golazo! That is as coordinated a connection as there is in this league. Nunez gets another assist on her ledger, and Shannon Walter, your player coach, can do a little bit of everything. Says, hey, she's still got it. She wants to keep running this. Nearing her 4th decade. Little shove in the back, and the Kalamazoo side not happy about it. They saw exactly what we did here. The Mustangs may have gotten away with one. It was 15 Laura Garcia. Garcia, a rotational piece last year, did make the trip all the way to Cleveland for last year's final, but did not make the active roster for the final. Many of those who weren't rostered did make that trip to come and support. A tight-knit club, always has been, always will be. Whistle, and Kalamazoo foul on Jalen Van Valkenburg with a, never mind, it's the blue card. Ooh, the first player advantage comes for the Mustangs. Power play. Van Valkenburg is going to come off. Let's see if she's also the one serving the penalty minutes. She's headed to the bench and not the penalty box. Kalamazoo's got to take somebody off the field because it's a blue card. Our referees are in discussion. And now the Chicago side also takes a moment to huddle, talk this out. You see Shannon Walter with the yellow captain's armband on. Walter netted that last goal from Nunez, put the Mustangs up 5-3. She's distributed. She gets this team ready to play each and every week out on the practice pitch. Oh, so much to Shannon Walter. And now we've got a yellow card in hand too. Let's try and sort this all out. As we've got a yellow shown, it looks like it's the bench, we speculate. And so, regardless, we already knew that there was going to be the power play on Van Valkenburg. That means she will have to serve 2 penalty minutes. They're going to go and get somebody. It looks like reserve keeper Jordan Hartman maybe is going to go and serve some of those minutes. No, sorry, Hartman was moving around the bench area. We are very much expecting Van Valkenburg will serve her own 2-minute penalty on the power play for time. But you should have 7 total penalty minutes assessed on Kalamazoo if we are having both of the blue and the yellow enforced all at once. So the yellow card, it does not create a power play. The blue card does. However, we thought that we were going to have the shootout too, and where Boland is placing this is not the shootout stripe. Okay, I think Boland is figuring it out now. And it's one of those, on the severity of the contact also, the referees can, at their discretion, award a PK shootout. We've got a lot of questions and not a ton of answers, folks. We will do our absolute best to sort it out. So it's not a shootout. You'll see a free run-up with a shootout where everybody else starts at that midfield stripe and the shooter themselves begins at this advantaged position and gets the free run-up. Van Valkenburg in the penalty box, and if there's a yellow card, they may be asking her to serve 7 consecutive minutes in there as those time penalties stack. Any of these released with a score. Also, we've got just 3 minutes and 57 seconds to play till the half. Boland, top of the arc. Options here. Pass or shoot, equally good. Goes pass, Miranda blocked by the reigning defending Defensive Player of the Year, Stephanie Freund. Whistle and foul on the Kalamazoo side. Once more, nobody's happy. I think handball is the signal. And you're going to see, yeah, it is handball officially we're hearing. That's Natalie Bounds for Kalamazoo. Bounds whistled for the handball. Bounds, a native of St. John's, Michigan, now calls Kalamazoo home. Says her favorite player or athlete of all time is Paige Beckers, formerly of UConn basketball, and then the top draft selection of the Dallas Wings in the WNBA. Off the Zoo City interception, shot wide. Musser around the wall, and we'll meet another wall named Stephanie Freund. Funny how that happens. Flores up for Walter. Walter will have to slow it down, maybe go back, perhaps all the way to the keeper, Leslie Ordonez. Yes, indeed. Ordonez surveys, and eventually goes for Battisti. good one unfolding. All technical difficulties aside, folks, a spicy one. Miranda, Hornewer, Musser, everybody collides. And the one Mustang trailing the play there, Yayas Macias. Finally, this trickles harmlessly to the keeper Ordonez. She comes up and bowls it out aggressively. Hornewer to chase this down. Hornewer turns to her left. Shot just wide of the goal mouth. Those chances are only so few and far between. The Mustangs will rue that one a little bit, no matter what this halftime margin ends up being. After the stoppage, you have Walter coming from the top of the arc. You have some fantastic, tricky stuff drawn up on each of those set pieces. Bar down! Bang! Kelly Collins! Oh man, that's 6-3, and the Mustangs are doubling up Kalamazoo at the 2-minute mark. So here's the thing. If we saw the penalty at 3:57 against Van Valkenburg, then the normal blue card would be released. You do have a timeout called. Oh, and we're just going to stick here right with you through the timeout, folks. We're going to be here for a few as we stop and sort it all out. That bar down bomb from Collins now puts your score up to 6-3 Mustangs. It's worth the price of admission, folks, let us tell you. Sarah Bruns twice for Sioux City in that first quarter. Morgan Hadaway once on the breakaway, a solo score. Stephanie Nunez in this match already equaled the record for Women's Major League Soccer, Women's Major League Indoor Soccer for single game assists with 3 of them. Nunez got a goal of her own. What else is new here? Kelly Flores a hat trick. Walter and Collins adding a goal apiece. And what more have you come to expect from these defending champion Chicago Mustangs? Once more, we come to you live from Hoffman Estates here in Grand Sports Arena. Live from the west of Chicago. This stadium is alive and jumping. This match has treated us so far. We sit here at 6-3. And with 2 minutes to play, we've got the whistle with the signal to restart. Here's what we've got. Van Valkenburg is, in fact, as we're seeing right now, serving both of the time penalties. So even though the blue card time has expired, and by the time of it, it would have been very close to see if it would have already expired anyway before the goal was scored, Van Valkenburg will still be serving the bench misconduct, and that is an additional 5 minutes. So it's 7 minutes of penalty time, all served by Jalen Van Valkenburg. That's one of your sort of welcome to the league rookie moments. It's unfortunate. 1 minute and 45 to play. Chicago 6, Kalamazoo 3. Ordonez, the goalkeeper. Brenna Musser. Musser, one of the absolute most physical players in this league, won battles last year at a rate that you've seen almost nobody else do. Kalamazoo known for that defensively and in their midfield. Maritza Miranda, another that is fierce physically, and Sarah Bruns is a reigning all-league first-team selection. Here's a clean takeaway. It's going to lead to Mustangs numbers. Cross and then blocked off of the back, kind of awkward, of her own teammate Jennifer Lopez, hit with that cross. Not how they drew it up exactly. And a few too many of the runs probably for Kalamazoo have been solo. You finally got a foul called, and Musser is saying thank you very much. I feel like I earned that a little bit earlier on. Now this is the 6th foul, folks. This is exactly what we were talking about. Had everybody check on the foul counts, and indeed this means shootout coming. Brenna Musser going to get the free run up, unless it's Maria Maurer perhaps. We thought that we saw Musser at first. Let's see who's going to come and take the shootout, in fact. But yes, a free run up coming, and it appears now to be Diane Hurtado. Hurtado, a Battle Creek native, playing soccer her whole life, but this is one of the bigger ones. Says, hey, I can't hear anything at all. She says, I can't even hear the whistle when that horn is going. But here comes Hurtado. Hurtado on the touch. Oh, she is smacked, and you wonder if this is going to bring an extra card of some kind. Blue card is up. It's probably going to be the denial of an obvious goal-scoring chance whistle. And Hurtado is down 2. So that's on the goalkeeper there if they determine that that's what the penalty is. If that's the case, goalkeepers must serve their own time penalties. Hurtado is still on, but kind of rubbing the shoulder. So a normal PK is awarded now. The shootout try is unsuccessful, and now Jessica Kennedy, here's where we wind up. Kennedy gets to take the PK with Ordonez. Wow, eventful. Folks, you can't turn away for, well, practically a second in this one. Kennedy, PK, save! Ordonez! Fantastico. She'll keep it where it is. Hurtado rebound blocked. One more try. Not going to sneak through from Musser. Maurer, toss. And we wind towards 30 seconds. Diane Hurtado carrying this up for Kalamazoo. Hurtado with some fancy feet, flicked one. And one more shot blocked. A touch there for 20, Piper Wennemar. Short time for Kalamazoo, under 10 seconds, but they've spent a lot of time in this attacking end. Do they have one turn to take? Maybe Musser from distance. Musser drifting to the right with short time. Hurtado not going to get it off. And Kalamazoo will come up empty on the shootout plus the PK in short succession. That stings a little bit as they will go to the half, sitting on that 6-3 score. Did everything that they could in that half and in the last couple of minutes of it to begin to draw a little bit closer in this one, but no luck just yet. This Mustangs side, they do what they do. It's what we come to expect from them. They've got the shooting edge 25-9. Stephanie Nunez already tying the single game record in assists here with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. Nunez had dishes twice to Kelly Flores, once to Shannon Walter. Sarah Bruns with 2 of the 3 for Kalamazoo, got those first 2 in the first quarter, and then Morgan Hadaway at 4:54 of that first quarter. And the last 3 scores unanswered: Flores, Walter, Collins, 13:34, 4:43, and 1:59 in the quarter. Folks, we're going to have to take it to the half, and when we come back for half number 2, the Chicago Mustangs will be doubling up, visiting Kalamazoo. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer here on MLIS Pro TV, and thank you so much for sticking with us through all the technical difficulties. We'll do our best to keep it as clean for you in the first half, or rather in the second half, as we can.
Nace de la tierra y el tiempo. 7 años de espera hasta que la agave alcanza su punto exacto. La piña se cuece lentamente en horno de mampostería, respetando el proceso, respetando el origen. La fermentación es natural, sin prisas, y la doble destilación en alambique concentra su carácter, su aroma, su esencia. Un tequila artesanal que honra las raíces del tequila auténtico. Tequila La Legión, respaldado por generaciones.
And we welcome you back inside Grand Sports Arena here in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer here on MLIS Pro TV. Rocky start all the way around, folks. Not on the pitch. We're talking about us over here on our end. We apologize profusely, and thanks so much to everybody who stuck with us through the not so hot start of this one. We are so happy to have you with us. And we have a 6-3 match here at the half. Kalamazoo's visiting squad, they are trailing 6-3, and the goal scoring scenario looks like this. Kelly Collins, Sang Jun Hornewer would score in the first for the Mustangs. Pardon us, in that first quarter you actually had Kelly, Flores, Stephanie Nunez, and Flores once more. And then you also had on the Kalamazoo side the goals, Sarah Bruns, 2 of them. Pardon us, we've now been told, as we're just hearing it in our ear, that in fact the opening goal was Brenna Musser for Kalamazoo. It's officially credited Musser unassisted, 13:41 of the first quarter. Morgan Hadaway would have the final Kalamazoo score at 4:54 of the quarter. And once that horn starts, we are just about ready for the start of half number 2. Third quarter upcoming here from Grand Sports Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. And let's kick off quarter number 3, folks. We can't wait any longer. Tanner White here with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. We await kickoff here for the third quarter. Diane Hurtado is on that Kalamazoo center line. Hurtado, Emma Boland, Brenna Musser, Maria Maurer, and let's see, 16, Jessica Kennedy. There you go. Your starting 5 field players back in there for Kalamazoo. And also in goal, Solea Baker. The shots on goal edge for the Chicago Mustangs, 25-9 as we come out of the break. Mustangs just now taking the field. Kalamazoo's leading scorer last season, Susana Paula Roberts, not back with the team for this season. They split the second place goal scoring finish on that side between Sarah Bruns, Maritza Miranda, Brenna Musser, and Emily Vargas. Vargas not making the trip with Kalamazoo today. However, Vargas is a great depth piece as a forward on this side. And the first shot nearly scored. Oh, it trickled in, and thankfully on the Mustang side, they're able to stuff that first shot. 15 seconds in here for quarter number 3, and we nearly had Kalamazoo beginning to trim that lead. On the Zoo City side, 8.5 goals a game allowed last year. They're at 7.5 so far for this season. So they've trimmed that number up just a little. And now a full match and a half of those have been against the Chicago Mustangs. Musser lines up, slices one. Once more, Brenna Musser did have the opening score. We even had to track her down and say, hey, did you in fact register that opener, and talk to a couple of others around the arena to make sure we had the correct one as we told it to you. Musser carrying up along that right board. Musser lined up another, and just wide of the goal frame. Emma Boland will go and pick this up. There goes that horn again, folks. Loud around here in GSA, the Grand Sports Arena. Kelly Collins looks to turn in a solo run. We did get word on the penalties too. We will tell you all about them. It seems like a fair enough time as a back touch comes to the keeper. So, the Kalamazoo penalty, the single one that was enforced, went on Jalen Van Volkenberg. Van Volkenberg is serving the descent penalty. As we understand, it did go on her, and there was in fact a blue card shown for a moment, but that was rescinded. Once that blue card came off, they said, yeah, we're still enforcing the yellow, did our referee crew, and then that meant that Van Volkenberg was going to be serving 5 minutes. That penalty still has not released. So Kalamazoo not a player down, but Van Volkenberg is unavailable right now, serving all 5 of those penalty minutes. Nunez and Maria Maurer. 2-player run on. Flores up high. Not quite. The follow. A defender throwing her body around. That's Boland. Boland slow to get up. Nunez dangerous in that attacking end from anywhere all the time. Nunez, Hurtado back touch. A good one brewing. Your score still 6-3. Home side. El equipo de casa los Chicago Mustangs. Ooh, Kennedy into the boards. Whistle foul here. We're not going to see the blue card. Okay, we thought there was definitely a chance. Got a couple whistles. Maria Maurer is coming off of the bench area. She looks like maybe she needs the trainer. See what that was. Whistled in a moment. And finally the restart comes. Took quite a while to get it too. See if it's worth the wait, folks. Ball sent down, chest touch, Hurtado to the deck. No whistle there on Ana Vasquez for the Mustangs, but there is a whistle down in this other corner. Bearing the brunt once more, Brenna Musser. Foul there by the Mustangs, 21, Yayas Macias. A newcomer, new addition, joining a defending champion team. It's a real good spot to be in. Emma Boland and Kelly Collins, physical. Collins looks like her contact will be whistled. Couple of early fouls on the Mustangs side, all within one possession here. Kalamazoo's roster changes kind of look like this. They depart their captain from last season, Brinley Neuenhuis. A retiree, finally just had the life and the career all become a bit much. Kelly Collins on the solo run and stuffed by the keeper, Saleha Baker. Goalkeeper Jalen Harbin was injured last year, torn ACL. Harbin still not available. Again, Susana Paula Roberts, this squad's leading scorer, not returning for this season. 2 goalkeepers played sparingly, being Mackenzie Paul and Rachel Wineclaw, neither of them available. Not going to be joining the squad this season. And then 3 defenders, Riley Wiggins, Sam Foster, and Sophie Bradford, as well as forwards Madison Ames and midfielder Evie Clare. The additions, though, they've been positive in just about every spot that you see them. Diane Hurtado continues to be one of your best target forward options. The goalkeeper, of course, coming in second in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer with the 45 saves for Saleha Baker, and looking to end up, probably before this one's over, getting herself up on the top of that list. Piper Wennemar, Sarah Evans, Natalie Bounds, Kendra Hutchins, Nikki Page, Morgan Hadaway. Hadaway had the 3rd Kalamazoo score, but they have not scored since then. That is a bit of an issue. Been stuck there, but again, it's something the Chicago side is known to do to you. Nunez, whistle, and foul called. To bring this back in, Van Valkenburg, so you can tell that's how we know she's been released. So we're officially looking at the penalties, and if that was at 4:03 of the quarter and Van Valkenburg was asked to serve 5 minutes of it, then we speculate she spent far too much time in the penalty box. We looked over at 13 minutes of this quarter, and Van Valkenburg was still in there. There should have been just 57 seconds of carryover. Nonetheless, Mustangs in the attacking end. Freund chipped too high. Stephanie Freund, one of the most valuable defensive assets, and what have we told you? She's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. We got one more match kicking off later this evening over in Phoenix. 8:05 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The Phoenix Pulse and the Las Vegas Turf Monsters. This game may or may not wrap up yet by the time we get there. It'll be really fairly close, that is. Oh, Nunez wound up, thought about it, still chipped one, pulled it. Walter rebound, man, you figure between the two of those players, Nunez and Walter, somebody's going to find net. Not yet. Nunez getting the bulk of the focus. Oh, and she's fouled late, Van Valkenburg. That extra contact is not going to bring a card, but Nunez incensed. After the Kalamazoo foul, Walter, set piece, down in the right corner. Walter on approach, couple of false starts. Now goes wall ball on a Vasquez. Vasquez not there to clean it up. Back touched from the Mustangs. Yes, Macias to the keeper, Ordonez. Whistle here. I think this should be another one of those three-line pass rules, if that's what we're looking at. Top of the arc. And let's see, will it be Walter once more? They've had a bunch of fancy set pieces. They've been drawing up stuff. They've been in the playbook, getting all geeked out about it. Our apologies, a goalkeeper change for the Mustangs at the half. Juana Mercado in cage now. Ends up dumped off to the right. Nunez, shot blocked. Nunez with the chip, Walter, finish! And that's a goal for the Chicago Mustangs. Folks, just keeping the seat warm for the man that stood here before me, Tico Fernandez. Tico, Teresa, Mustangs faithful have been so blessed. Their ears, more than anything, blessed by the sound of you too. 7-3, Chicago. Walter from Nunez, and that should be your single game assist record here with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. If our scorekeeper saw it the way we did, and not crediting anybody else on the assist, we thought it's a really good chance that it's Nunez to Walter. Great two-player run on for the Mustangs already. Again, they just never quit. Shot, Navarro! Espectacular! Oh no, is it J-Lo? Oh, perdona. Jennifer Lopez. And a goalkeeper change coming for Kalamazoo. They're going to turn to Jordan Hartman. Hartman is in, and in a somewhat shocking turn of events, Soleil Baker is out. The final margin from the last time these two sides met was 7-3. This margin is already beyond that, 8-3. Baker in that game would go all 60 minutes, saving 19 of 26 for a .731 percentage. In this match, little bit of a different story. Once more, this Mustang side will do that to you. America, oh, pardon us. So we did get it right there. We've got the assist credited right now to Hannah Larson. Boy, we thought the touch was Nunez. Oh, we're going to have a discussion with all of us on that. No, I suppose that's right, folks. Yeah, we've still got the last goal from Shannon Walter with the assist, Stephanie Nunez, and then Navarro from Hannah Larson works on our side. Those goals were 9:24. There's the chippy from Horner, a good one. Loose ball, and picked up, put down with a little exclamation mark. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Mustangs may win today. And let's take it to the media timeout. 7:38 to play, third quarter, 9-3. Chicago leading here at home against Kalamazoo. And welcome back out of the media timeout. 7 minutes, 38 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. If we are hearing all of this right, that last Mustangs goal is America Navarro from Hannah Larson. Thanks so much to our referee crew, Ryan Eckert, Irenaeus Baran, Christian Rangel, and Paco Ojero. Shannon Walter. Walter distributes, scores, captain, coach, you name it. Whistle, Kalamazoo foul. Down on the turf a little moment longer, Kelly Flores. Flores, first half hat trick. Those were the very first score of this game, 13:52. And then 5:46 of the first quarter, as well as 13:34 of the quarter. The shot edge, 30-10. Chicago with the reserve keeper in two. And that reserve keeper, Juana Mercado, launches one. Down to Nunez. Nunez, great slide tackle from Van Valkenburg to knock that away. Stephanie Freund giving chase. Sarah Bruns. Bruns hits the deck. She gathers herself and is off and running. Put some pressure on the goalkeeper too. Not a bad job considering the posture she started that play in. Walter threaded in. Flores. Nunez. Save. Hartman. And Maria Maurer is there too, just in case that thing starts leaking closer and closer to the goal line. Whistle the contact, Flores and Maurer. Maurer is the least happy about it, but nobody is. And with the final of this one, we speculate nobody's going to be happy, no matter how this all sorts out. 6 minutes and 32 seconds, third quarter, 9-3, Chicago. Here's the goalkeeper, Jordan Hartman. Hartman nearly put that right on target. Maurer had her try and clean it up, and no dice. But could you imagine? You saw a couple of goalkeepers scoring last weekend in Las Vegas. What an 8-match weekend that was. That saw Albuquerque, New Jersey, and Las Vegas make their WMLIS debuts. Nunez, little shove in the back. She survives off of the first. Hartman does. And now the Mustangs will have to pull it out. Sang-Jun Hornuer, touchback for the keeper, Juana Mercado. Mercado taking over at the half for the starting goalkeeper. Seemed as if the effort from Ordonez was plenty enough to win. It's all well and good, but a lot of soccer to play. Bruns loses this ball in a scrap. We got a whistle pretty far away from the ball. Oh, and a blue card is down and Bruns is off. Penalty minutes should be coming. Bruns comes off. Again, she's not the one it looks like that's heading to the box, but somebody will need to for Kalamazoo, and a power play for Chicago. Kalamazoo is, I think, it's still calling. Okay, finally Bruns goes and says, well, I'll take it myself, don't you worry. We'll spare anybody else from this. As Bruns takes her position in the box, Mustangs have a 9-3 lead and a player advantage. They were already dangerous enough before. Flores, Collins kind of whiffed. And that ball was clean into the box, into her, it looked like. Off the interception, Flores, wall ball. You always expect to find Stephanie Nunez lurking. This ball just escaped our facility entirely. It's nowhere to be seen. You know what they say, adios pelota. Tricky set pieces. So many of those, the Mustangs have already burst out. You have options. Hornuer, Walter, Nunez, find out. Walter, right block. Flores, Van Valkenburg was unfazed. That's a great job defensively from Kalamazoo to survive that first set piece. 4 minutes, 45 seconds, third quarter, 9-3, Chicago. Still on the power play. The blue card went on Sarah Bruns. Out to Walter. We're told the blue card is for charging from behind. 2 minutes, power play, penalty on Sarah Bruns. Collins continues to lurk down lower into that goal box. Hasn't gotten a shot off yet. Throws! Boom! Throws up both hands on her ears, says, "Can you hear this? Let me turn it up." That's a 10-piece nugget for the home side. 10-3, 4-11, third quarter. Put down once more for Flores' fourth of the match. Four minutes, 5 seconds here, third quarter. Mustangs opening that deficit wider and wider. They have scored 6 straight. There's a little chippy. Ooh, Kalamazoo will want that. Ana Vasquez. Kalamazoo got to recover after that. Now, we thought Van Valkenburg had fallen on the ball there. We kind of expected a handball, half-heartedly maybe. We didn't get the call nonetheless. The Zoo City side, they have oh so much heart. This team in almost every single match last year. Again, they would finish 2-4, and outside of that playoff picture, you had just 4 teams last year in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer, and so only 1 championship match. This season, the top 2 from each of our East and West conferences will be heading to Las Vegas for that finals weekend back in Las Vegas. Anybody who traveled there the first time told us, yeah, it was incredible. Such an unbelievably well-run weekend. Our streaming there, we cannot thank our partners enough at the National Soccer Network. Turned on, Hartman, save, down low. She'll come up and huck this with a capital H. Like a chuck, but more so. In fact, an ultimate frisbee term. Ooh, there's a couple of Kalamazoo attackers there with a chance. Boland, in fact, from her back row spot, ended up being the one that probably had the best shot at it. We're thinking power play score on the last goal. We're going to sort out by the timestamps of it and let you know in just a moment. Again, the blue card went on Sarah Bruns for Kalamazoo, charging from behind, and it should be, in fact, power play for Kelly Flores. Hartman, save! She has picked it up when a team absolutely needs to have it and they go to a reserve keeper. It's not usually quite so early in the match, you want to say? Wasn't quite to start the half, but it sort of felt like that. Nunez and Musser. She is hooked. Let's see what the foul is. Oh boy. Is it just a common foul from the spot that Nunez is at here? You have to expect her to shoot this. Both left and right feet are options. Technically, Walter has a couple of other tricks in her bag that she could go to as well. Nunez, righty, bang! Dread it, run from it. Stephanie arrives all the same. You want to talk about playing for the logo on the front and not the name on the back. As Stephanie Nunez, the reigning most valuable player here in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer, is lighting it up. Nunez will already own, by the time we depart, the single game assists record with 4 of them, and she's got a couple of goals on her side too. Right now it's credited as Nunez unassisted. A turn just a little bit wide. Kalamazoo got a good look at that with Maritza Miranda, and on the doorstep it's tapped in. Yes, Nikki Page. as Page cleans it up. It's one off of that lead. All well and good, but you got to string them together. Kalamazoo says, all right, let's settle it back down and get back in this. We're doing a whole lot more of that. The restart's going to come at 1 minute and 17 seconds or so here for the third quarter. And let us play it out. Once more, the Mustangs making the goalkeeper change at the half, turning it over to Joana Mercado over Leslie Ordonez. Should you see this match get real tight within a handful of goals, you might see them perhaps altering course, going back. Could be to starting keeper Ordonez. Nunez might be loose. Nunez blocked. Van Valkenburg. That's a name everybody's going to get to know here throughout Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. Jalen Van Valkenburg. Tall, fast, strong, just 17 years of age, getting better all the time. Box once more. Nunez a little touch. Hartman stuffed it. 30 seconds. Third quarter. Hartman blasted this down there. Stephanie Freund is finally the one to collect it. Freund did not score last season, although as we mentioned, her defensive work more than made up for that. And on the defender side, of course, not entirely your decision when that ball finds you. Under 10 seconds here for the quarter. Watch Nunez streaking from Walter with a great recovery from Piper Wennemar. She might have just helped Kalamazoo survive that quarter. You're in the corner of the ring. You're getting battered, bruised, and bloodied, but you are not knocked out just yet. Nikki Page with that header to trim the lead a little bit. 11-4, and we will go to the fourth quarter. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer here on MLIS Pro TV. The home side, Chicago Mustangs, leading over Kalamazoo Zoo City FC 11-4.
Nace de la tierra y el tiempo. 7 años de espera hasta que el agave alcanza su punto exacto. La piña se cuece lentamente en horno de mampostería, respetando el proceso, respetando el origen. La fermentación es natural, sin prisas, y la doble destilación en alambique concentra su carácter, su aroma, su esencia. Un tequila artesanal que honra las raíces del tequila auténtico. Tequila La Legión, respaldado por generaciones.
Let's welcome you live back inside Grand Sports Arena here in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Tanner White with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. Thank you so much for all of your patience throughout the number of technical difficulties, especially in that first half, folks. Doing our best to keep a local recording going. Hopefully we can clean that copy up for you as best as we possibly can and post this later on. Fix it in post, as they say in the film industry. Once more, your home side, the Chicago Mustangs, will enter this fourth quarter with the 11-4 lead. They really pulled ahead big time in that third quarter, and it was a big one for Stephanie Nunez, your reigning MVP. The shooting edge for that quarter. Ooh, before we tell you about that, whistle, a big collision and a foul should be on Val Battisti, we speculate, unless it's on the Kalamazoo side, in which case they probably got Morgan Hadaway. Yeah, you're looking at 13 Morgan Hadaway, foul called. So the 16-4 shooting edge, that was the biggest shooting edge in any of these quarters so far for Kalamazoo, or the biggest shooting deficit, as it were. Mustangs 41 shots, And on the Kalamazoo side, 13. Nikki Page with that header score. It helped at the very end of that quarter with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to trim it, but yeah, not by a ton. Mustangs are going to take this free kick from way deep, a ton of movement, and now they're just going to move it all the way back for the keeper, Juana Mercado. Mercado sliced Kelly Collins. Collins looking for options. Says, hey, let's go out to the MVP. Nunez, when she makes her drives, all eyes on her. Nunez, lefty, blocked. Nobody there on the Chicago side to throw it in. Kalamazoo, backs to the wall, yes. But maybe you put the entire league on notice by what you do in the last 13 and 45-ish of this match. Maybe you turn it on and play your best half of soccer yet. Maybe even in the franchise's history. This Kalamazoo squad has scored 7 goals in a game before. That was on this very pitch last year, a road match against POW Chicago. Kalamazoo would win that one. They got a 6-point outburst from Emily Vargas, and then again, Vargas not available in this one, did not make the trip with Kalamazoo today. But they've got other attackers to do it. Diane Hurtado, always a great choice. They really love Maria Maurer as an attacking midfielder. Jessica Kennedy herself, dangerous from anywhere. Jessica battled through injuries last year to get on the pitch as much as possible for her team and was rewarded with the second team all WMLIS selection. Collins is, wow, in an armbar, and everybody's going to break up that, oh boy, Maurer is going to get something here. She might get the yellow at least. Okay. Yellow card, Maria Maurer here. We're going to go dissent. I think that's highly likely. Maurer comes off. 12 minutes and 37 seconds. 5 penalty minutes. Again, this is not a power play. So, no player advantage on the Chicago side. I wonder if there's more warnings coming after the 2 yellows have been thrown on the Kalamazoo side for dissent. Don't have them yet, but everybody is teetering on that precipice. 11 for Chicago. 12 minutes, 33 seconds, 4th quarter. Nikki Page, the last Kalamazoo goal scorer. Page and Bruns tied up. Bruns might do this all herself. Oh, blocked. And then finally, one little shove. Let's see, who did they get? Perhaps Page or maybe Bruns? We've got a whistle here away from the ball. Oh, you got shoves on both sides. Bruns is gonna, everybody's gonna have to be restrained. Oh boy. We're breaking it up. We got another yellow down. We should have 2 yellows stacking. 10 total penalty minutes on the Kalamazoo side. You should see another player. Now wait a minute. On Chicago's side, they are sending Fernanda Soto in. So if Soto is the one flagged too, then what happened to Bruns? And there's one more yellow card that's shown here down on the bench side. Oh boy. Lot to talk about in not a lot of time here. We are seeing double yellows. It's heated, folks. Let's call it what it is. 12 minutes, 19 seconds? Yes. Pardon us, we're leaning out around the bench area and just trying to survive on through this last 12-19. Double yellows is what we're hearing. Severe unsportsmanlike conduct for Sarah Bruns as well as Fernanda Soto. Soto, another one of those Mustangs newcomers. Keep you right here through the break. Might have a little delay here. Minnesota, along with all three of the registered goalkeepers throughout the Mustang season so far, with Evelyn Flores, Leslie Ordonez, Honeydees Cruz, and now who you see in goal throughout this second half, Juana Mercado. Probably not a team that was expecting to go 4 goalkeepers deep before this season really started to get serious and everybody was setting their rosters, but it became more and more necessary as they realized, yeah, we've got a number of non-returning players. So you add in all of those goalkeepers to the mix. The departed goalkeepers, Elizabeth Sampras, now Rubino, Eva Garcia, and Lindsay Seppa. And that accounted for all of your goalkeeping minutes last year, and now it's been turned over to the quartet of Flores, Ordonez, Honeydees, Cruz, and Mercado. At some point, folks, this is going to get all set and sorted. What we're still talking about, I think, is the enforcement of all the different cards, the penalty minutes, who should be in the box, and if anybody is getting sent off. We didn't see any reds, but the key word, probably, the operant word here would be yet. Once this all breaks up, we've still got the soccer game to play, folks. There always comes that point where you realize, this is, at some point, got to continue no matter what anybody else all around would like to see. We will finally get that merciful whistle and begin play once more. We're still thinking just the 2 matching yellow cards, a set of them for Bruns and Carol Fernandez Soto. All right, take a deep breath and let's continue. Nikki Page, good pressure. And then chipped up. Sierra Metzler for Kalamazoo. Metzler looks like she may be whistled for the foul. She gives a little hand slap there to Val Battisti, so no love lost between those two. We've just had our officials signal the 6 fouls. He's clearly pointing up the 6 fingers, in which case a shootout is coming. That's what we thought we heard. Yeah, now it is. Worth the wait. With the shootout coming, you've got options. Let's see who's going to take it here for the Mustang side. Jordan Hartman has been called on in goal here for Kalamazoo. Incredibly difficult task here as she stares down Stephanie Nunez. Nunez, the defending MVP, on the free run. Nunez pulled it, she missed! Walter to clean it up, that's blocked. Wow, a dramatic beat for the game. Nunez coming up empty on a free try, and then the foul count resets. So it would take 6 more Kalamazoo fouls to send the Mustangs right back to that shootout stripe. Kelly Flores. Flores. Ooh, 5-hole. That's saved by Hartman. That was fantastic. We thought for a moment there was a chance that that would just drift onto that goal line and find its way in on a wing and a prayer. The keeper, Mercado, punched away by Hartman, but let's see, did she handle that ball outside of the goalkeeper's area? We didn't think so. That is one of the causes of a blue card that you've started to see enforced a little bit more often and a little bit more consistently. Goalkeepers handling outside of their area. Even so, another one of these dastardly set pieces is coming. Chicago can get you from anywhere with these. Walter, Nunez over to her right. Walter saved by Hartman. Jordan Hartman is going to great lengths to keep this team in it right now. She watches Mercado slash this just too far off the back wall. Numbers for Hartman so far, she has saved 10 out of 13. That's 769. It's a tremendous effort Soleil Ty Baker registered 10 saves on 18 shots on goal against. That was a .556 percentage. She departed at 7 minutes and 2 seconds into the third quarter. From then, it's just gotten deeper and deeper, this Kalamazoo hole, but they've still got the time to turn it around. Nikki Page. Page is checked once, twice here along the boards. Collins comes out of the pack for Chicago. Piper Wennemar really jumping off the tape at us. Very impressed. Everybody likes this young player, Wennemar. Piper Wennemar, a Fort Wayne native, believe it or not. Played for Fort Wayne United FC previously. Says her favorite pro team is the San Diego Wave and her favorite women's national team player, Alex Morgan. Wennemar along with Jalen Van Valkenburg, some of the youngest here on the Zoo City side. As the Mustangs keeper, Mercado handles once more. She slices it and harmlessly into the hands of the goalkeeper. Jordan Hartman loves to come up here and take these lobs, and it might create a chance with Musser. Now she will lose it. Good recovery defensively from 18, Kaylee Kowal. Loose. Still loose. Hartman stuffed once more. Hartman saves at 8:45. Kalamazoo still has prayers. You've got to continue to say them. Louder and louder probably. However, a 7-goal margin is what they're facing. They know that that would be the record for goals scored in a quarter. Again, it would equal what they set last year in a match here against POW Chicago. Kowal off late. Ooh, nutmegged her own player there. Not so intentionally. Mercado over to the right wall. Stephanie Freund. Out to give pressure for Kalamazoo to Natalie Bounds. Bounds, another one of those newcomers. They liked her attacking. They liked her defending. All throughout tryouts, Kalamazoo thought, yeah, we think we have an improved team and we think we are going to compete at the top level. You got 7 minutes and 40-some seconds now to show that. This is snapped well over Hartman. Restart. And we should have the media timeout issued. We do at 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Let's take it to the break here for the fourth quarter. What does Tico Fernandez always say? We got to go pay some bills. Tanner White here with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. Back in a flash. And welcome back here inside Grand Sports Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. A fiery fourth quarter unfolding. The Chicago Mustangs, they got all their firepower kind of unloaded there in that third quarter, and so far in this fourth haven't necessarily needed it. They still sit at the 11-4 margin. As we bring the ball back in here, we're nearing halfway through quarter number 4. Kalamazoo rotating in number 4, Lucy Lee here. Lucy Lee, a current Western Michigan student over at Western Michigan University. Plays on the club soccer team there, as so many Kalamazoo players do. Between that and the University of Olivet, you got most of it covered. Whistle, big collision right on that midfield stripe. And so 6 fouls we're seeing now with the fingers up. That should mean shootout coming. 6 fouls against the Chicago Mustangs, gonna give up the shootout chance. Joana Mercado trying to keep it where it is here. 7 minutes, 8 seconds of the fourth quarter. Over at the stripe is Morgan Hadaway. She looked over toward where those horns come. The sirens ring. Hadaway, no dice. And nobody's connected on a shootout so far. Oh, the humanity. Everybody over on shootouts, even PKs combined. Jessica Kennedy had one towards the end of that second quarter. Eventful as ever. Hadaway, another Fort Wayne, Indiana native. Played previously with Hot Shots of Fort Wayne. Lists her favorite pro team as Real Madrid. The Femeninas. Kelly Collins. Collins, little chip into the box. Nunez, unsurprisingly, with Chase. And now you see Emma Boland kind of filling up the goal frame, prepared should a shot be snapped off at any point, like Chicago is wont to do. Mercado over for her right. Slick roll back there by Yayas Macias. A 7-3 margin when these teams met just 1 week ago. Mustangs may be thinking, yeah, goal differentials in the back of our minds. Let's keep putting it up there. Collins. Oh, is that rejected? It was the chip, we think, from Miranda to clear that away. That was fantastically done by Maritza Miranda. Collins netted a hat trick in that last match just a week ago in Kalamazoo. The goal scoring in that one went Collins with 3, Walter and Stephanie Nunez just 1 apiece. Sangjun Hornuer and Jennifer Lopez 1 each. Kalamazoo scoring Nadia Anzaldua, a defender not making the trip with them today, Brenna Musser and Morgan Hadaway. Musser opened this game scoring in the first minute and 26 seconds we have. There's the touch here for America Navarro. Navarro netted a goal that brought everybody up and out of their seats here in Grand Sports Arena. Feels like quite a while ago, but it was just last quarter. Navarro at 8:48 of the quarter from Hannah Larson. At the time, that made it an 8-3 contest. It sits here at 11-4. Kalamazoo's time is winding shorter and shorter. They got to start snapping them off like that. A save, Mercado! Take them to the Mercado and get some much-needed supplies. That was fantastic. Wake up, folks. We still play on deep into the night here in Chicago. And under 4 to play, the Mustangs looking to close out one more dominant win. And can anybody topple this squad? remains to be seen. They came in with 16 goals for and a plus 11 differential. That's going to keep on growing, getting bigger and bigger as we go by. We've got our other match in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer kicking off in about 5 minutes time this evening over in Phoenix. Phoenix Pulse FC, Las Vegas Turf Monsters, over on MLIS Pro TV. Just back out of your browser, open a new page, refresh it, find that stream when this one's done. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play. Van Valkenburg pestering. Van Valkenburg has all of the body, all of the physical skill, and all of the mindset to dominate this league at some point. Van Valkenburg was one of the ones that served the yellow for the bench misconduct. I'll tell you more about the cards when we wrap this thing up, as there will be a number of them to talk about. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play. Nunez, one more, nearly for good measure, netted, but not quite, a little bit wide. Another superlative Stephanie Nunez match. Just what you've come to expect from the defending most valuable player here in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. And the keeper Mercado is taken out by Paige. Paige nearly put that on target though, and that would have been her second. 2 goals, 4 assists, Stephanie Nunez. This is far too high. It's launched 1 minute and 58 seconds. Some substitutions perhaps, and it might just be the final line changes. Everybody's discussing, hey, is there a card coming here or no? I don't think we had one presented. And now our referee's going to pick this up, and we really have an official timeout now. All right, we can take more time to tell you the scoring summary, folks, and save a little bit of that so we don't have to hit it at the recap later on. Once more, Kelly Flores in that first half had a hat trick. By 13:34, she'd already put up 3 scores. Flores, Nunez, Flores were the first 3 scores on the Mustangs side. Flores would get them again, and then Shannon Walter, Kelly Collins before halftime. It was a 6-3 halftime score. The Mustangs would get on a run and cook from 4-3 Chicago down to 11-3 Chicago. That is 8 unanswered. They currently lead 11-4 with 1 minute and 58 seconds to play. Decided here from Grand Sports Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, but just how exactly will we end it, that we will never promise you or cannot be certain of. Oh, and the red is shown for the very first time here in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. Who'd they get? Is it Soto? Red card's out, and it looks like Soto's done too. And you've got to clear the bench area and make a clear effort to depart the moment that that red card gets tossed, or there's additional suspensions that can be had. She'll miss the last 1 minute and 58 seconds, and then next match she'll be unavailable. The next match currently on the schedule for Chicago, hosting here versus New Jersey 1 week from today on Saturday, February 21st, 4 p.m. Central Time. So that schedule, we're told, is subject to change. If Soto's gone, you may see her escorted out of here by staff from around the arena. But she is shown the first red card in the history of Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. If that's exactly what we saw, and if it's not entirely, our apologies, but Soto had already had the yellow. It was for the altercation with Bruns, and they were called unsportsmanlike, and you know what everybody saw with all that and what they were thinking on it. And the temperature has finally hit that boiling point, approximately 212 Celsius depending on your altitude. 1 minute, 55 to play. What's Kalamazoo got to do to this final margin? Boland with some great handles. Up for Musser. Musser, a 5-year starter at Northern Michigan. Boland lets it loose. Musser is one of the most accomplished and veteran on this Kalamazoo side. Jessica Kennedy would still have to own that title. Kennedy, a Broomfield, Colorado native, played soccer her entire life. Now 31 years of age, leads her side fearlessly on so many different sides of things. As an owner, player, captain, incredibly important to the success of the franchise. Founded this team 4 seasons ago in the Premier Arena Soccer League. Now leads them out in WMLIS for year number 2. Brenna Musser. Musser shot. Looked like it would have been on target. It is blocked. Here's Boland. Boland winding up. Boland almost top cheddar. Oh, that's one of the most beautiful looking shots we've seen all evening. Musser over for Maurer. Hurtado to clean it up, not quite. Hadaway still lurking. Boland as well. Boland shot another. A tad too high, but close. Musser once more on target. And the backup keeper, Mercado, is untouchable right now. Vasquez may finally get the takeaway to end this possession. There's only 36 seconds or so. Maurer watches this on the wall. Musser retains the possession under 30 seconds. Maurer open, chippy, the keeper denied it once more. Musser, chest touch, the keeper loose on the deck for a moment, Mercado. And Kalamazoo with maybe a couple more tries. They've been giving it literally everything they have on this last possession. Musser blocked by Val Battisti. Battisti, the Arlington Heights, Illinois native, says her favorite song is It's Going Down by Young Jock. That's how she gets pumped up for this one. And you know what's going down? The 11-4 final score. The Chicago Mustangs have dropped down the gauntlet for the rest of women's Major League Indoor Soccer. It is clear now there are levels to this. The Mustangs will open up the season 3-0, 2 of those here in Chicago, and they take down Fort Wayne and Kalamazoo. With the 1-week reset between these two, the Mustangs will sweep them both against Kalamazoo. 1-1, the home and road matches. 11-4, your final score. Scoring summary coming up in just a moment. But let's just all take a moment to breathe, folks. Fernanda Soto, we are told, send off with the first red card in the history of Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. We were oh so fortunate to not get a single one thrown in the inaugural season here with WMLIS. Second time around here for year number 2, not quite so much. Soto does get sent off. The Kalamazoo side going to gesture, of course, to the fans. That's who we do this for every single weekend here in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer. Your final scoring summary. An even first quarter, 3-3. Tight at that point. No goals in the fourth quarter. Nothing to really be had at that point. The second and third, it got real interesting. An 8-1 advantage across those 2 quarters for the Chicago Mustangs. 49-16, their shooting advantage. Stephanie Nunez has just set the all-time record for assists in a single game with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer with 4 of them. Nunez diming up her teammates all over the place. Flores once, that was at 13:34 of the second quarter. Walter, that was 4:43 of the second quarter. Walter again, 9:24 of the third quarter, and the final assist for Nunez. We're still hunting for it on the stat sheet, but it was in there somewhere. We're told she had all 4 of those. We'll clean that up with you, but just expect it for now, because that's what we've come to expect from Stephanie Nunez. Mustangs now 3-0 on the season, 2-0 at home, 1-0 on the road, and the goal differential climbs. It was plus 11, and you slap a 7-piece on there at plus 18. Kalamazoo will fall to 0-3 on this season. Everybody looking forward to next weekend. Again, the schedule is still in flux, we're hearing. However, what we do know regular season schedule-wise is that Kalamazoo will play next Saturday, February 21st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, home versus Fort Wayne. Back from Let's Play Soccer, they're in Oshtemo Portage, Michigan. Not a whole lot else that we will promise, folks, but we will say thank you once more, oh so much, for joining us. Our other match in Women's Major League Indoor Soccer has kicked off. The Phoenix Pulse FC already leading the Las Vegas Turf Monsters 1-0 in that one early in the first quarter. 2 more matches tomorrow. Utah Uprising FC from Salt Lake City will also take on Las Vegas tomorrow. That's Sunday, February 15th. And this Kalamazoo side has to get out of here in a hurry. They've got to get to Fort Wayne tomorrow. A 5 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. Salt Lake City and Vegas, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard. That's also 5 p.m. Eastern. And then Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne in Fort Wayne at 5 p.m. Be sure to catch all of that action on MLIS Pro TV. Once more, your final score, the Chicago Mustangs 11 and Kalamazoo Zoo City FC 4. Tanner Wright with Women's Major League Indoor Soccer on MLIS Pro TV. Thanks so much for joining us.